Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Sahih al-Bukhari, the book of menses or periods. Hadith number 294. Narrated by Al-Qasim radhiyallahu anhu that Aisha radhiyallahu anha said, "We set out with the sole intention of performing Hajj when we were reached Sarif, a place 6 miles from Makkah. I got my menses. Rasulullah ﷺ came to me while I was weeping. He said, 'What is the matter with you? Have you got your menses?' I replied, 'Yes.' He said, 'This is a thing which Allah has ordained for the daughters of Adam. So do what all the pilgrims do with the exception of the tawaf, a circumambulation around the Kaaba.'" Aisha added that Rasulullah ﷺ sacrificed cows on behalf of his wives. Hadith number 295, narrated by Aisha that while in menses I used to comb the hair of Rasulullah ﷺ. Hadith number 296, narrated by Urwa that a person asked me, "Can a woman in menses serve me? And can a junub woman come close to me?" I replied, "All this is easy for me, or allowed. All of them can serve me, and there is no harm for any other person to do the same." Aisha told me that she used to comb the hair of Rasulullah while she was in her menses, and he was in itikaf in the mosque. So Rasulullah would bring his head near to her in her room, and she would comb his hair while she used to be in her menses. Hadith number 297, narrated by Aisha that the Prophet used to lean on my lap and recite Quran while I was in menses. Hadith number 298, narrated by Salma that while I was lying with the Prophet under a single woolen sheet, I got my menses, I slipped away and put on the clothes for menses. Then Rasulullah said, "Have you got nifas menses?" I replied, "Yes." He then called me and made me lie with him under the same sheet. Hadith number 299, narrated by Aisha that the Prophet and I used to take a bath from a single pot while we were junub. Hadith number 300, Aisha added that during the menses he used to order me to put on izar, dress worn below the waist, and used to fondle me. Hadith number 301, Aisha added that while in itikaf, Rasulullah used to bring his head near me and I would wash it while I used to be in my periods in menses. Hadith number 302, narrated by Abdul Rahman bin al-Aswad that on the authority of his father Aisha said, "Whenever Rasulullah wanted to fondle any one of us during her periods menses, he used to order her to put on izar and start fondling her." Aisha added, "None of you could control his sexual desires as the Prophet could." Hadith number 303, narrated by Maimuna that whenever Rasulullah wanted to fondle any of his wives during the periods, he used to ask her to wear an izar. Hadith number 304, narrated by Abu Sa'id al-Khudri that once Rasulullah went out to Musalla to offer the prayer of Eid al-Adha or Eid al-Fitr. Then he passed by the women and said, "O women, give alms, as I have seen that the majority of the dwellers of hellfire were you women." They asked, "Why is it so, O Rasulullah?" Rasulullah replied, "You curse frequently and are ungrateful to your husbands. I have not seen anyone more deficient in intelligence and religion than you. A cautious, sensible man could be led astray by some of you." The woman asked, "O Rasulullah, what is deficient in our intelligence and religion?" Rasulullah said, "Is not the evidence of two women equal to the witness of one man?" So they replied in the affirmative. Then Rasulullah said, "This is the deficiency in her intelligence. And then isn't it true that a woman can neither pray nor fast during her menses?" The woman replied in the affirmative. So Rasulullah said, this is the deficiency in her religion. Hadith number 305. Narrated by Aisha radiallahu anha that we set out with the Prophet for Hajj, and when we reached Sarif, I got my menses. When the Prophet came to me, I was crying. He asked, why are you crying? I said, I wish if I had not performed Hajj this year. He asked me, maybe that you got your menses? I replied, yes. Rasulullah then said, this is the thing which Allah has ordained for all the daughters of Adam. So do what all the pilgrims do, except that you do not perform the tawaf around the Kaaba till you are clean. Hadith number 306, narrated by Aisha radiallahu anha that Fatima binti Abi Hubaysh said to Rasulullah, O Allah's Rasul, I do not become clean from bleeding. Shall I give up my prayers? Rasulullah replied, no, because it is from a blood vessel and not the menses. So when the real menses begins, give up your prayers, and when it is finished, then wash the blood off your body, take a bath, and offer your prayers. Hadith number 307, narrated by Asma binti Abi Bakr that a woman asked Rasulullah that, Ya Rasulullah, what should we do if the blood of menses falls on our clothes? Rasulullah replied, if the blood of menses falls on the garment of any one of you, she must take hold of the blood spot, rub it and wash it with water, and then pray in it. Hadith number 308. Narrated by Aisha that whenever anyone of us got her menses, she on becoming clean used to take hold of the blood spot and rub the blood off her garment, and pour water over it, and wash that portion thoroughly and sprinkle water over the rest of the garment. After that she would pray in it. Hadith number 309. Narrated by Aisha radiallahu anha. Once one of the wives of the Prophet did itikaf along with him, and she was getting bleeding in between her periods. She used to see the blood from her private parts, and she would perhaps put a dish under her for the blood. The sub-narrated Ikrama aided Aisha once saw the liquid of safflower and said it looked like what so and so used to have. Hadith number 310. Narrated by Aisha that one of the wives of the Rasulullah joined him in itikaf, and she noticed blood and yellowish discharge from her private parts, and put a dish under her when she prayed.